Hello my friends. Welcome to Delhi Ham's podcast station. Today, we have the U2RAK, Rakesh, with us in our studio. The U2RAK is a well-known radio amateur, a home brewer. He needs no introduction. So, let us welcome the U2RAK to this podcast episode.
Hello my friends. I am pleased to introduce myself as an active ham radio operator from New Delhi. My fascination with radio started when I was a little over 14 years. Like many of us, I also became a ham radio operator through shortwave listening route. I got my ham radio license sometime in 1970 or 71. I do not exactly remember. I started coming on the air with the homemade 3-band, 5-tube, 100 watts CW transmitter VFO control. With this transmitter, I had an old national HRO receiver. I used this combination for a few years, and later I converted the CW transmitter into amplitude modulated transmitter by adding plate modulation. This amplitude modulated mode worked very well and had many enjoyable QSOs with local as well as DX stations. Later, I converted this amplitude modulated transmitter into single sideband transmitter, and also by this time I had modified my HRO receiver using new miniature radio walls. After having used the single sideband transmitter plus modified HRO receiver for many years, I managed to buy my first commercial ham gear kit. This was Heathgate's famous Hot Water 101. I enjoyed very much assembling this kit and also operating it on the air. In between, I kept doing experiments with antennas and other electronic circuits. At one time, I was very active on digital modes like mTOR, Tactor, packet radio using PK232 MBX radio modem. I started operating on RTTY, that is radio teletype as well, and with an old radio teletype machine called Model 15. This was around in 1980 or 81, if I remember correctly. I had made a terminal unit with few radio walls and 2 transistor audio frequency shift keys. I really enjoyed working many DX stations with this old and simple radio teletype or RTTY setup. I operate mostly on 20-meter band and on CW and SSB, more on CW in fact. I'm also active on 40-meter band and on 80-meter band. On lower bands, I work on CW mode most of the times. On 40-meter, my favorite spot is near 7.012 because I have found that there is very little or no broadcast interference near around this frequency. On upper HF bands like 20, 15 and 10 meter, I have a homemade 2-element quad. On 40 meter I use a dipole, and for 80 meter I often work with a long wire antenna with an auto tuner. I sometimes use my homemade linear amplifier which I have made using 2x4-400A transmitting tubes. I am an active avid experimenter and love to play around with electronic circuits. I recently homemade 2 20-meter SSB, that is single sideband CW 30-watt radios. These radios are working very well. Thank you my friends for listening to my podcast, and I hope to meet you on the air very soon. Regards and good luck and family tree from me. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot for U2RAK. We all enjoyed listening to you. See you on air. So, my dear friends, hope you all have enjoyed this episode of Delhi Ham's podcast. See you again, and have a great day.